What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is Cats. Now, this one comes from Universal Pictures. It is directed by Tom Hooper, and this one tells the story of a tribe of Jellicle cats that choose one Jellicle each year to ascend into the Heavenside layer to become a new Jellicle life. Now, you're probably thinking a couple things. One, is that the real plot to the movie? Yes, it is. Two, am I having a stroke? That sounded like I was having a mini stroke. No, that was the actual plot. I was not just speaking gibberish. The word Jellicle, funny enough, before we get into this review, a couple things about it. One, if you watch the movie, you're going to hear the word Jellicle about 416 times, approximately. Don't fact check me on that, but you will hear the word Jellicle so many times that when the movie is done, you will definitely know the word Jellicle, and that will be a part of your daily vocabulary. So I apologize for that. Second thing, Jellicle, funny enough, when you watch the movie, it actually means jelly testicle. Like, these are jelly testicle cats. And I know it's just one of those weird things that you don't even think about. The movie brings it up, and you're like, huh, jelly testicle cats. That makes no damn sense. But you know what? I'm going to go with it. No, that'd be funny if it was, though. So yes, going into Cats was a very, weird experience because... First of all, I never liked the trailers. I thought they looked weird. I'm not a fan of musicals, which I'll explain myself in just a second because people are already going to think I'm biased, but hold on. Don't like musicals. And this movie has been dragged through the mud for the past 5 months. It has been the butt of many jokes. It has been scorched, burned, buried alive by critics. Like, this thing has been obliterated online. I'm not going to be able to add anything new to the conversation. I'll just tell you that up front. So whatever other people have said, like better critics than me out there, they've already said it. So I'm not going to be able to add anything new to the conversation, but I'm going to try my best to describe what the hell I just saw. So I don't like this movie. I don't. I mentioned earlier I don't like musicals, but I do like some. And, if they just are executed in a way that I've never seen before, I will like it. I was a 90s kid. I grew up with the Disney kind of renaissance, and, those films would bust out into song all the time, and I enjoyed them. I love stuff like Mary Poppins, Sound of Music. A modern one that I really like is Sweeney Todd. I was blown away by that when I saw it in the theaters. It was a great mixture of music, atmosphere, story, characters. It was deeply disturbing. It was darkly comedic. It was entertaining as hell. I enjoyed that movie. It was a gothic musical. I want more of that. So I do like some musicals, but this was just not one of them. So let's begin this review and try to understand what I just saw. You guys are going to be my therapist, by the way, because I have no idea. This is going to be all gibberish that's going to come out of my mouth because I don't know how to construct this review. I really don't. But first and foremost, what I actually found more disturbing than the cats in this movie was the fact that this movie was boring. It was a boring movie. I was never engaged with the story, the characters, what was going on with the secondary characters. Nothing captured my attention. And that's a bad thing when you have a musical, because musicals are supposed to exude this really infectious energy. Like, you want to see characters belt out tunes. You want to see them go through their situations and, sing their sorrows or their joy or their pain or just whatever. Like, that's the whole musical experience, and you're supposed to be captivated. You're supposed to feel this type of musical energy to your film, but this did none of that. It was a movie that didn't really get into its plot until about halfway through, so I was already checked out. And of course, the cats look weird, and I'll get to that in just a second, and all of that, and so I was never into it. And it was trying to be this, like, poetic thing about, good cats going into heaven, I guess, because of they're good people and they deserve a better life. And what? Oddly enough, the story and the characters were ironically lifeless. Because, cats, 9 lives, they have multiple lives. There was nothing to it. There was no weight to anything. It was just a bunch of weird humanoid cat things running around dark, dirty alleyways, singing, and then we just go from set piece to set piece, and then the movie just ends. Never into it once. Speaking of the cat humanoid things, they are disturbing. They're haunting. And the problem is, their whole body is animated. Now, the actors were on set, and I believe they had the skin suits with the balls on them so they can capture their motions and everything. But it was freaky looking because some cats would defy gravity, and they would jump from thing to thing, and it didn't look right. They would kind of move around and kind of slither like a snake. And I get that they're trying to act like cats, and they went to cat school, and I get all that, but it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look right to the eye, and it just kind of throws you off through the entire experience. And the weird thing is, like, these bodies are animated, and then like they'll have the real life actor or actress with their face on the head, and it's like moving with the head, but like at the same time it's like kind of floating there. It's so strange. It really is. However, I get the vision that Hooper wanted to go for with the look of the cats. I really do. This was not going to be an easy thing to adapt. But if some bonehead at Universal was greenlighting this thing with the $100 million price tag, then you got to push the boundaries, and you got to make it visually intoxicating with cats and the sets. And I get all that, and so they try to push the boundaries with the mocap and making it look as lifelike as possible. Sometimes the fur and the cats would look really good. Sometimes the actual the tails, the ears and stuff, like how they would like just intricately like move like antennas almost, like this is how cats' ears and dogs' ears are sometimes. Like I get that. They just kind of move on its own. I get all that like attention to detail and making it look like these cats are like viable things that are happening on set right now. I get that. It just did not look right, and the technology is just not there yet to blend everything together to make it look lifelike. So that's it about the cat humanoid things. Push it to the side. Now, one thing I actually liked about this movie, one of the few things, are the sets. The sets look really great. Like these people that worked so hard on this movie that created these sets to make them look, 4 times bigger than the actors or actresses, because you're supposed to do it, to scale on what a cat would be like in a house or an alleyway or whatever. That stuff was amazing. It really is. And it was wasted on this movie. Sometimes the scale wasn't right. Sometimes the cats would be smaller than they should have been. There was also mice that were introduced that were super small, and they were like on the size of like, a fly level. Like it was just... Sometimes the scale was not completely there, but I will give credit where credit is due. The sets were immaculate. I absolutely loved everything about the sets. They looked really, really good. So that's pretty much it with the overall kind of like story, direction, vision, everything. It's just like, when you're watching this thing, you can appreciate the artistry with the set design and the production design, the costuming in some areas, but other than that, it's not really anything that you want to write home about. The performances, Francesca Hayward is the main character, and first of all, I don't know why she's the main character. She barely has any dialogue. She really doesn't have a presence as a main character, but as a performer, she is good. She has this this innocence to her. She's kind of scared. She's shy because she was dumped by her human at the beginning of the film. So she's looking for, a place to be, somewhere where she can be accepted. And she exuded all of that in her face. I got all that. And she was accepted towards the end. She found her family. Like, that was really sweet. And I thought she delivered that as best as she could. She her singing voice is so crystal clear and so amazing that I kind of wish she just would sing every single song in the movie. But she was good. I liked her. Jennifer Hudson, I don't even know, first of all, what the name of her character was. I don't know the name of any of the characters, by the way. Go on IMDb and you tell me that you can remember all those names. I'll wait. Yeah, they're hard, even with me and my terrible grammar. But yeah, I thought Jennifer Hudson's song that she sings in it obviously is good, but it's better when she sings it in person and not in some weird CGI makeup hybrid cat thing. It just doesn't come across well at all. It just kind of takes away all the emotion out of the song and the feeling of it. It just seems empty. It just seems lifeless. So her song was good, and obviously she's got a great singing voice, but everything else I could care less for. Singing from other people, the performances, the characters, all of it just seemed definitely like a Broadway stage play. It didn't feel like it was an adaptation, and taking what was good from the stage and adapting it to film. It just felt like Broadway actors and Broadway performances, and it just nothing ever seemed right. It just, like I said, everything about this movie was off just by a little bit. And then I mentioned the music briefly. I do like some of the songs. They're catchy, but for the most part, this is not the type of environment or world that my brain can click with a musical with. It just, once again, doesn't work. I'm going to give this movie a D. I don't really know what else to say. I don't know what else to add that people have not already added to the conversation. I do like the sets. I like Francesca Hayward, and I like some of the songs, and Jennifer Hudson's song is good, but it does take away the emotion because of what she looks like in the film. And everything else, don't really care for. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think this was just a mistake. Now, if you wanted to do a Cats film, I don't know how you'd fix it. Like, keep the practical sets, maybe make the actors in really advanced makeup, or make the whole thing animated. I don't know. I really don't. How do you fix Cats? Let me know down below. But that will do it for this review, guys. Thank you for listening or watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get up-to-dates on whenever I review anything. Subscribe to the Reel Me In podcast feed, my podcast that I co-host, and get up-to-dates on whenever we post whatever content we're posting during this quarantine situation. It's a lot of fun with my co-host, Joel Copeland. He's got some stuff on there and everything, so check it out. And that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee. Let me know what you thought of Cats down below. And just whatever conversation you want to have, I read it all. So that will do it for this review. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.